So it was a beautiful morning, and as the list of projects on Oiysh was growing bigger and more overwhelming, we did what any sane person would do. We decided to ignore them all and procrastinate by making the fantasy of a dinghy proa come true. Now, if you're not familiar with the proa, according to a dictionary, it's a type of a sailing boat originating in Malaysia and Indonesia that may be sailed with either end at the front, typically having a large triangular sail and an outrigger. But we prefer to think of it as a marvelous piece of brilliant ancient nautical wisdom. The outrigger is called ama, and Pacific proas sail with the ama on the windward side. If you want to know more, I'll put some links to resources in the description. We've been thinking about building one for a while, so when our friend got some fiberglass sheets donated and we got a chance to build a prototype, we jumped on it. First mission, draw all the pieces. We aided ourselves with some measurements Bartek made in CAD based on sketches kindly provided by Dominic Tarr in his YouTube video, and a generous dose of freestyling. True to the Oiysh style, everything was measured very precisely. I just wanted to point out that I find it very fitting that the Proa build quest turned out to actually be number 42, which, as anyone who knows Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy knows, is the answer to life, the universe, and everything. Just wanted to leave it out there. With the side pieces for the Vaka done, it was time to move on to the ama. Did I mention the precision? sheets were not exactly flawless, but they were created to cover gaping holes in a catamaran that had a close encounter with the reef and were supposed to last long enough to bring it to the marina and haul out.
Jak to szło, darowanemu koniowi nie zagląda się w zęby.
Which they successfully did, and besides, free material is free material. We are not that picky. The whole theme of the project was to build it spending as little money as possible. If you want to try to guess how much we spent on it, leave a comment down below. We will reveal the exact number at the end of the series. Originally, those magnificent crafts were built with limited resources that the builders could gather locally, so we thought it would be fun to try to follow that premise. And though we did have access to some more modern technologies, most of the things we used we already had or was considered trash, thus free and collected within a 1 kilometer radius of the build site. Speaking of which, the space to work was kindly provided to us by our friend Sheila. If you are in Linton and in search of someone competent to do fiberglass job, take care of your boat or a place to work in yourself, we highly recommend you contact her. Then, after marking out some smaller pieces and a session of play pretend, we cleaned up the sheets a bit and decided to call it a day. Next morning, we gathered all the tools we would need, scavenged our scrap wood stash, and headed to the marina to start the itchiness palooza. As usual, Bartek was the one to take one for the team and started cutting all the pieces we marked out the previous day. Though the evenness of the pieces was questionable, we were planning to use the stitch and glue method, so some minor imperfections didn't matter that much.
Podłoga może być.
The local manager came by to check on our work. Arctic cut, I sanded all the holes that we would need to fill. That is, when the drill battery was not charging. Piece by piece, our dream boat was taking shape. Next up, the tedious task of grinding all the edges in preparation for the fillets.
Mhm.
We did feel a bit guilty about doing it so close to nature, but it is a workyard after all. What it meant though was that during our breaks we could admire it. Now, sorry for the cliche, but we couldn't let this magnificent layer of fiberglass dust go to waste. Okay, back to work. While some of us were working, others, like the manager, were still having a siesta. With the side pieces cut and prepped, we needed to drill some holes for the stitching process.
Przypuszczam, że se też powiercisz.
So Bartek drilled and I stitched.
Troszkę.
After a little bit of eyeballing and some additional measurements, we reserved some space for the Waka deck pieces and fitted the AMA bulkheads on the sheet.
Tu i tu, nie? To... Tam było ile? Metr?
20.
Gdzieś dotąd, ale nie wiem gdzie, nie? Nie?
Mhm.
Nie? Trzymasz tam?
Mhm.
Metr 20, tak?
Tak.
Okej. Tam było, że prawie 21, nie?
Mhm.
After cutting out the bulkheads and some dry fitting, it was time to pack up and head home to wash off the fiberglass dust, eat some food, and rest before the next day.